Every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
A very good evening to you. Welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Omotayo Alo. In our top stories tonight. Good to have you join us tonight. Now the news in full. The Minister of State for Labour and Employment, James Ocholi, and his son and wife dies in a motor accident while travelling along Abuja-Kaduna Road. Spokesman of the Kaduna State Police Command, Zubairu Abubakar, confirmed the incident. He said the minister, wife and son died in the accident on Sunday afternoon. Reports said the minister, his wife's son and his aide were together inside the Prado car that crashed into a Lexus Jeep. The minister died instantly, then his wife and son died a few minutes later. An eyewitness whose car was behind the minister's convoy when the accident occurred said the minister's car had a burst tire before somersaulting several times. Ocholi represents Kogi State in the cabinet of President Muhammadu Buhari. He was a senior advocate of Nigeria. And may his gentle soul rest in perfect peace. And on that same line, the President of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, has expressed shock and sadness at the death of Barrister James Ocholi, who, together with his wife and son, were killed in a car crash in Abuja on March 6, 2016. President Buhari described the Minister of State for Labour's death as untimely, regretting that Nigeria has lost a key component of the change agenda. The President says for the few months Ocholi had been in office, the late Minister of State had already begun to distinguish himself through his commitment and dedication to his portfolio. President Buhari also consoled with the government and people of Kogi State, whom he described as having lost a distinguished and irreplaceable son. He prayed that God would comfort them and grant them the grace to bear the loss. The late Ocholi has had a long record of political association with President Buhari. The chairman, Ward 4 of the All Progressives Congress APC, Omoko headquarters of Ogba Egbema Ndoni local government area of Rivers State, Franklin Obi, has been beheaded. His son, 18 years old, Master Bestman, and the wife, Inyoma Obi, were also killed. Obi, who until his death was chairman of APC ward in Omoko community, Ogba Egbema Ndoni local government area, was said to have presided over the Congress election, but was killed at about 9 p.m. on Saturday. The State Police Commissioner, Musa Kimo, who visited the family residence, confirmed the murder of the APC chieftain and members of his family. Kimo expressed deep pain over the sad incident while calling for collaboration between communities and the police to wipe out miscreants and hoodlums from the state. He, however, regrets that the police was not contacted while the assailants were carrying out their evil acts. Rivers State Police Commissioner therefore condoles with the surviving daughter, Victory Obi, over the brutal murder of her father, mother, and elder brother. The 3 abducted schoolgirls of Babington Macaulay Junior Seminary in Ikorodu, Lagos, have been rescued by the police. The rescue mission was carried out overnight by the police, which saw some kidnappers arrested. Lagos State Police Commissioner Fatai Owosheni says the girls were found in Igbokuta area of Ikorodu in a hale and hearty condition. Meanwhile, the girls say they were not molested by their captors. The kidnap was carried out on the 1st of March as heavily armed gunmen stormed the school premises, abducting 3 female students. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode says the state has the will and capacity to fight all forms of crime and criminality. The governor made this known while addressing journalists following the successful release of the schoolgirls abducted from Babington Macaulay Junior Seminary School in Ikorodu last Monday. Governor Ambode read the Riot Act to persons who have taken to kidnapping, warning that there would be no hiding place for such acts and that the state government will spare nothing to clamp down on all forms of crime in the state. The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Fatai Owosheni, says 3 suspects were arrested in the operation that led to the rescue of the girls, adding that one of the suspects, Emmanuel, was actively involved while 2 others were conspirators who aided in the kidnapping. When interviewed by journalists, the prime suspect, Emmanuel, says 12 people were involved in the operation and that the operation was planned at Majidun area of Ikorodu. Governor Akinwumi Ambode of Lagos on Sunday paid a visit to Maidan Agility, part of Mile 12, where violence broke out on Thursday. His very first visit to the scene, the governor was accompanied by the Commissioner of Police, Fatai Owosheni. Correspondent Victoria Solomon was there and files in this report, presented from our studio.
The pains of loss is still fresh in the minds of residents of Mile 12, hence their demand that the market be relocated. They also request for relief materials for those affected. Governor Akinwumi Ambode, with his entourage, however, visited the market on Sunday, 3 days after mayhem was unleashed on the area to see things for himself. Commissioner of Police Fatai Owosheni further briefed him on preliminary findings.
Yes, because when the thing started, the people at the other end, there were some cars, there were some mechanic workshops around that place. They harmed themselves with bottle filled with petrol that was sounding like bomb, which they were throwing across, because I was there when they were throwing it. While the people here now started identifying some shops that they believed belonged to some Yoruba people and vandalized the shops. At a point in time, they went to the other side, and any of the properties identified to be, okay, this is a Yoruba person. That was it.
Although Governor Ambode did not address residents, it is clear that notes have been taken on possible challenges and likely solutions that will ensure lasting peace.
Meanwhile, men of the Lagos State Police Criminal Investigation Squad have paid the Maidan Agility area of Mile 12 a visit in the aftermath of Thursday's crisis. While touring the area, the security operatives asked residents to take stock and report to Kwanti Police Post at Adekunle area on Monday to file their losses so as to get appropriate compensation from government. Sarah Ayeko reports.
This is Maidan, also hit by the mayhem which struck on Thursday at the Mile 12 area in Lagos. Latest to join the assessment train to the area are the policemen of the Lagos State's Criminal Investigation Division, CID. The policemen moved round to take inventory and seized the moment to commiserate with the residents.
Quantify all your property damage, everything. Okay. You know Kwanti? You can have your medical report.
I never even did not discharge it. You go to hospital. Okay.
All what has been damaged, everything, you let us know. the Lagos State government wants to take over, but we have to start investigation one by one.
Residents are, however, not appeased. They still demand for the relocation of the market.
We want them to take a reasonable action, not for them to just come and see what is going on here, but to take a, that we people will know that yes, they did something. They can say they want to compensate, but we know they cannot do all for us.
I don't want to make any further comment because of the pains and the trauma I passed through. How do you expect me to express it? Policemen were right here where those guys were pursuing me up and down, and they did not do anything.
Lives have been lost, properties destroyed. The Maida Agility part of Mile 12 cannot forget this horrific incident in a hurry. But as peace-loving Nigerians, one cannot help but hope that the attitude of violence will be buried soon, and very quickly too. Sarah Ayeku, CoreTV News, Lagos.
All the glasses.
The military's campaign against insurgents in the northeast of Nigeria needs more public support for it to really produce the final result that most Nigerians expect. The Course 27 of the Nigerian Defense Academy's regular combatant short service course at its reunion in Abuja says this is the way to go to ensure that the matter is brought to closure. Correspondent Kozim Kasali has more in this report from Abuja.
With the music rendition by the Nigerian Army Band obviously leading to nostalgic feelings on the part of the regular combatants short service Course 27 of the Nigerian Defense Academy who were enlisted for training at the nation's foremost military academy in 1986. Chairman of the group, Chidin Wakene, says the group aims to serve as a platform for its members to socialize and develop, especially the family unit. On the ongoing war against insurgents in the northeast, he says Nigerians should do more to support the military in the battle against terror.
I think the Nigerian public and maybe the media, I would say the online media in particular, misconstrues the whole idea of the fight in the northeast. I participated in the Liberian Civil War.
For his part, Moses Fasanya, a former military administrator and trainer for the group in their time in the NDA, says the coming together of the group is a good step in the right direction. He urges them to be agents of change in the society.
The more they will actually derive benefit. And I have said it, the need to keep the home front together will rather foster progress, not only in their own cause, in our nation.
A member of the group also says they will continue to contribute their quota to the security and well-being of the nation.
Security is a double-edged sword. It is the armed forces, also the civilians. You see, we even need more support from the civilians now for intelligence gathering, because it is the locals that gives you the intelligence.
The members, some of whom are still active in the military, later held a 1-minute silence for the repose of the souls of their departed colleagues. Kozim Kasali, CoreTV News, Abuja.
And following the incident that occurred between members of the Islamic movement in Nigeria and the Nigerian Army in Zaria, the Arawa Youth Leaders Forum is appealing to the military authorities to pardon and release detained members of the group as it has apologized to the Chief Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, over the incident of December 2015 when his life came on the threat as the sect members obstructed his convoy in Kaduna State. The forum's decision to appeal on behalf of the detained sect members was reached at a roundtable dialogue weeks earlier in Abuja. Isa Okeja and Jonah Ali, President and General Secretary, in a statement jointly issued on the outcome of the gathering, say the group has resolved to apologize to Chief of Army Staff and the Nigerian government and beg for pardon for detained members of the Shiite sect to be released with a promise not to engage in any further act of terrorism. Reacting to videos of Shiite leaders calling for retaliation against officials, the forum noted that some disgruntled elements are still threatening violence against innocent members of the state, which it described as saddening, unacceptable and condemnable in view of the lasting peace initiatives set in motion by the government of Kaduna State and the entire northern region to nip the unfortunate incident in the bud. We'll take a quick break now, and when we return, we'll bring you more stories. Do stay with us.
Are you aware that the death percentage attributed to Lassa fever cases is currently put at 43.2%, a figure considered very high? Lassa fever, an acute viral illness characterized by high fever, muscle aches, mouth ulcers and bleeding in the skin, is harbored by rats and spread to humans via the urine and droppings of rats. To prevent Lassa fever, avoid any exposure with rodents, rats, as well as food and objects contaminated with rat secretions and excretions. Report all suspected cases of Lassa fever immediately to the nearest healthcare institution. Help prevent Lassa fever. This message is from the federal government of Nigeria.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trading looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. They don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I said to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has a right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
Good to have you join us again. You're still watching CoreTV Primetime News. A quick reminder of our top stories. And for more of our news and information, do visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News, or Twitter handle @CoreTV News NG. You could get more on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV, leave a space and news. The candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Senator Mao Ohabua, who won 4 out of the 5 local government areas in the Abia North senatorial election rerun, has been declared winner of the poll by the Independent National Electoral Commission. He defeated former governor of the state and candidate of the Progressive People's Alliance, PPA, Orji Uzokalu, David Onwacha Bodex of the All Progressives Grant Alliance, ABGA, and Nina NMA Lancaster Okoro of the All Progressives Congress. Almost a year into the tenure of the Buhari-Osinbajo administration, Nigerians are still expecting the fulfillment of the payment of 5,000 naira stipend to the unemployed and vulnerable members of the society. While President Buhari recently disclosed his intention to rather channel such funds, if available, to agriculture and infrastructure development, some Nigerians say they voted for the ruling party based on the welfare package in its manifesto. In this special report, correspondent Abiola Oluwole examines the thought of Nigerians on the 5,000 naira promise. His report.
According to President Muhammadu Buhari, his administration came on board at a time the economy of the country is at an all-time low, and no thanks to the continual fall in the global oil prices coupled with its attendant drop in the nation's foreign reserve. But economic revitalization formed the pre-election campaigns of the ruling APC.
Accordingly, we are paying attention to those economic programs
that we need to empowerment of the people and thus provide an alternative lifestyle of fruitful engagement rather than resort to extremist and terrorist activities. Job creation and provision of quality education are key areas that are already receiving our attention.
The initial controversy that enveloped the payment of 5,000 naira stipends is still fresh in the minds of Nigerians. While some claim that the 5,000 naira was smuggled into the website of the party and the president never promised to pay such money, others say it was contained in the manifesto of the party. But the recent pronouncement by President Buhari in Saudi Arabia that he would rather invest such funds into agriculture if available, according to these Nigerians, has dashed the expectations of millions of vulnerable people in the country.
They promise. All the rally they do promise that they are going to pay 5,000 for unemployment and on ungraduate that people that not have a job, can they pay them 5,000 at least for starting.
5,000 naira stipends is a very delicate issue. Come to think of it, of a truth, the country is broke. There's no money anywhere. We don't need to start telling ourselves lies.
That 5,000 naira will never do us anything. You understand? I need APC at least to empower our youth, not because of that 5,000 naira I voted for them. They should at least find a way that they will employ the unemployed masses.
The Governor Rochas Okorocha, APC will work to fulfill promises made to the entire nation during the electioneering campaign, while Governor Tanko Amakura says the president has the power to determine the policy direction of his administration.
Great idea, but there are many ways to give that support. Sometimes cash has its negative challenges. Fiscal cash sometimes ends up in taking of beer, increasing number of wives. But it's a great idea, and we'll have to do it one way or the other.
The person that can tell you precisely how his mind is working on promises and interventions he has created by his ingenuity. And if at any point in time the president is reviewing that issue, I think he has every liberty to do that, because what he's doing is in the best interest of the country.
Whichever way it is, Nigerians are anxiously waiting to see the promises of the ruling APC come to fruition. Political analysts say inability of the federal government to work in accordance with programs that won the vote of the people may spell electoral doom for the party at the next general elections, just as it did to the breath of fresh air in 2015. Abiola Oluwole reporting for CoreTV News.
The once beautiful city of Jos, the capital of Plateau State, in the eyes of many, is fast becoming a shadow of itself as that take over due to a long time of neglect and sanitation programs. The refuse accumulation at Tudunwada, Bukuru, Faringada and Janta are said to be responsible, as agencies are said to not performing in their duties, while calling on residents to change in their attitude towards the environment. A Plateau State correspondent has more.
The massive accumulation of dirt in Jos, the capital city of Plateau State, and its environs has been linked to the easy spread of disease in the state. This has led the agency in charge of sanitation to speed up its activities in cleaning up the state capital. Speaking at an event for the launching of sanitation programs in the state governor, represented by the secretary to the state government, Rufus Bature, said the state would do its best to maintain minimum acceptable level of hygiene.
In order to sustain the sanitation program, the state government shall ensure that, one, environmental sanitation exercise is observed monthly. The LGA chairmen are directed to provide dump sites at their LGAs for dumping of waste and refuse trucks for easy collection of waste to the dump site.
According to the general manager of the sanitation agency in charge of cleaning the state debris, Chris Betai, if the previous state governments had taken the issue of sanitation seriously, the state would not have been as dirty as it looks. He urged the present administration not to relent in its drive to maintain a clean environment.
The first time in the history of governance that an elected governor within the shortest period of time is having a rethink on a clean environment, and PEPSA is the first point of call.
Residents expressed desire that the state government will continue in its enforcement of sanitation activities that will help in mitigating the spread of disease such as Lassa, diarrhea, cholera, meningitis, among others.
After 40 years of vacancy, kingmakers in Taraba State, Kwararafa Kingdom in Wukari finally has installed 4 regents to run the affairs of the kingdom. The coronation ceremony followed after the installation by Aku Uka, witnessed by indigents of the kingdom who trooped en masse to be part of the historic event. Odwa Godwin completes the story.
The Jukun tribe in Kwararafa Kingdom is usually referred to as the warrior tribe of the land. The long wait to have the regent has at last come to an end, as not less than 70% of the people in Kwararafa Kingdom are witnessing for the first time.
I say the program is wonderful. We enjoy ourselves, especially for us, the young ones. This is what we have not seen for a long time. You know, our parents used to tell us today, we have witnessed this ourselves. You know, we're part of the tradition and we are happy.
They are charged with the responsibility of selecting a new Akuka or the successor to an Aku. After selection, they will present the candidate to the Koji, the chief coronator.
The traditional rites which holding at the Jukun Supreme Temple away from the public lay is conducted by the Jukun Supreme King Akuka of Ukari.
The Jukun people operate a theocratic system of government, where Aku is seen as God's representative on earth. So they will both help His Majesty in the traditional aspect and equally administrative aspect.
The kingmakers are promising to use their position to promote uprightness and justice in the kingdom.
I will organize the youth. Normally you support me with all these old men. I will follow them gradually to tell me how I got about with this regime or this throne. Because I like traditional. I don't want my traditional to lose.
The kingmakers is followed hierarchy after the Supreme King, the Akuka of Ukari. Udwa Godwin, CoreTV News, Jalingo.
Mothering Sunday or Mother's Day is a celebration of mothers and the maternal bond. Traditionally, children give flowers, presents and cards to their mothers and other mother figures, including grandmothers, stepmothers and mothers-in-law. Victoria Solomon takes a look at this concept of appreciating mothers. Our report. Mother's Day is a modern celebration honoring one's mother, as well as motherhood, maternal bonds and the influence of mothers in society. It is held on the 4th Sunday of Lent, exactly 3 weeks ahead of Easter Sunday. An assistant pastor at Amazing Grace Bible Church, Ibadan, Oyo State, speaks on the roles of mothers.
Mothers are trainers, they are helpers, they are problem solvers. If you have any problem, if you come to a mother, definitely that problem will be solved. Because God gave mother a special intelligence aside the men.
In Port Harcourt, the River State capital, mothers are praised for their impact in the family and in nation building. Lagos residents are not left behind.
Mother's Day is the day that we celebrate women all over the world, to show them that we really care about them, to show them that they are the powers behind us, they built us, we the men, and without them, there is no world.
The channel that I came to this world is through my mother. Despite the fact I don't know how God started it, but I came through my mother. So I appreciate my mother so well. At the same time, I appreciate my wife.
As a mother, I wish every mother around the world, using my mom as a point of contact, to wish them happy Mother's Day.
I want to bless God for today, and I wish all the women around the world many celebrations to come.
Thank God that today is Mother's Day, and it's a good thing to celebrate our mother because they are so precious and they are a wonderful person.
Last year, I experienced Mother's Day, but was not a mother. So I celebrated my mom. But this year, I celebrated my mom, I celebrate myself, and my husband also celebrates me. So it's a good thing to be a mother too.
Happy Mother's Day! Love your mothers! They are strong! They are love! One love!
To all mothers and prospective ones, many more celebration of motherhood from CoreTV News. Isn't it beautiful to be a mother? And from CoreTV, we wish all mothers happy Mother's Day. And of course, to prospective moms too. And so we move on to the celebration of culture. And now, who is speaking? The Vice President of Nigeria, Yemi Osinbajo, says the federal government is putting serious effort in the promotion of cultural festivals as an instrument of national cohesion and development. The Vice President made this known at the Wang Traditional Festival in Kaduna. Details in this report.
The Vice President said all tribes are represented and completely united in looting Nigeria's economy, but for their political gains, they used religion to divide the people. He added that good governance is placing men of probity and integrity within the corridors of power, and that it is a great inspiration to know what is going on in the country through Gwang Traditional Festival. He noted that the political class and religious leaders have succeeded in using religion for their selfish gains, and the APC government will not condone that evil act.
Traditional rulers, sometimes our leaders, different leaders, political leaders, religious leaders, tend to get into the notion that we can use religion, or we should use religion, for political aims and ends.
In his address, the Kaduna State Governor, Nasir El-Rufai, said the APC government in Kaduna State is encouraging agriculture, job creation, and promoting peace. El-Rufai added that the best is yet to come, not only in Gwangland, but in Kaduna as a whole. Nasir El-Rufai commended the Kwop Gwang for the fatherly role he played in ensuring peace and order during the 2015 general elections, adding that government is putting a lot of programs to rehabilitate schools and healthcare centers in the state.
We are expanding access to education, recruiting more teachers, and implementing a tough program to rehabilitate all the 4,254 public primary schools in our state in the course of our mandate. Our drive to attract private investments into the state as the best option to create jobs is recording huge successes.
And from here, we take another break, and when we return, we bring you more stories from outside Nigeria as Reagan dies at 94. Stay with us.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime News.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then News. CoreTV News. a 24-hour news station.
Are you aware that the death percentage attributed to Lassa fever cases is currently put at 43.2%, a figure considered very high? Lassa fever, an acute viral illness characterized by high fever, muscle aches, mouth ulcers and bleeding in the skin, is harbored by rats and spread to humans via the urine and droppings of rats. To prevent Lassa fever, avoid any exposure with rodents, rats, as well as food and objects contaminated with rat secretions and excretions. Report all suspected cases of Lassa fever immediately to the nearest healthcare institution. Help prevent Lassa fever. This message is from the Federal Government of Nigeria.
Thanks for staying the course. And on the foreign scene, former U.S. First Lady Nancy Reagan is dead. According to John Ilbert, Executive Director of the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library and Foundation, she was aged 94. As First Lady during Ronald Reagan's 8 years in the White House, she was known as a spokeswoman of anti-drug campaigns and a fierce protector of her husband, both personally and politically. When Ronald Reagan was shot in 1981 assassination attempt, Nancy Reagan never left the hospital where the president was treated until he was released. Nancy Reagan maintained a political interest and stature even into the 2012 Republican presidential contest. May her soul rest in peace. Turkey's Coast Guard says a boat carrying migrants from Turkey to Greece has sunk. 15 people were rescued after the boat capsized near the Turkish resort of Dimdim, while 25 have reportedly drowned. Macedonia has set new curbs on Syrian migrants trying to cross the land border from Greece that are now taken to the sea. An emergency summit will take place between the EU and Turkey on Monday to try to seek a common approach to handling the flow of arrivals. Iranian billionaire Babak Zanjani has been sentenced to death for corruption. Iranian judiciary spokesman Gholam Osim AJ says Zanjani and 2 others were convicted of embezzling billions of dollars from the national oil company. Zorail Razali, a lawyer from Zanjani, said the verdict was politically motivated and an appeal would be lodged. The oil mogul was sanctioned by the EU and the United States for helping Iran evade sanctions. And straight we go to the world of sports.
Power style, and that's what he delivered.
And in sport, a stoppage time penalty by Christian Benteke gave 10-man Liverpool a dramatic 2-1 win over Crystal Palace. Benteke went down following a challenge by Damian Denali and got up to coolly score the sport kick. Palace had led through Joe Ladley's 48-minute finish, and Liverpool's James Milner was sent off for a second yellow card in 62 minutes, but slipped by Palace keeper Alex McCarthy gifted Liverpool their equaliser, scored by Roberto Firmino. And West Brom earned their first home league win against Manchester United for 32 years as Salomon Rondon's low strike beat the 10-man visitors 1-0. United played for more than an hour without Juan Mata, who received 2 bookings inside 3 minutes. But Albine created little until Rondon found space to fire in substitute Sebastian Pocogloni's dangerous first-time cross from the left wing. The Red Devils are 6th in the Premier League table, failing to move back above West Ham and remaining 3 points adrift of fourth-placed Manchester City. And just before we go tonight, a quick reminder of our top stories. And on behalf of the entire news crew, thank you so very much for joining us tonight. I am Omotayo Alo.